What is up, everybody? It is your boy, Pigskin Pete. Happy Sunday to everybody. Every day is a great day to be a Tiger. And like I say every week, every day above ground is a great day as far as I'm concerned. It's also great to celebrate a win. That's right. Clemson celebrates its first Power 5 win of the season, its first conference win of the season in Syracuse, New York yesterday. They walk out of there with a pretty dominant win, 31-14. Actually, should have probably been 31-7, but it is what it is. A win is a win. What did we learn yesterday? I don't really know if we learned anything more than we knew after the Florida State game, really. The best thing you can take out of this game offensively is we have a solidified, legit number one receiver. True freshman Tyler Brown absolutely balled out. I forget how many catches he had. I think 8 for 151 yards. Unfortunately, he balled out but didn't get in the end zone, but a lot of other guys did. The run game was a little bit left to be desired. Will Shipley really had a tough go of it for the majority of the game. Late in the game there, he did bust off a couple of 10, 11-yard runs. But all in all, the long touchdown run by Phil Maffa was really the highlight of the day, running the ball. So you got to give credit to Syracuse. Syracuse did a good job in shutting down the run game for the most part. So, look, the real story of the game, everybody knows what it is. Well, Klubnik didn't turn the ball over this time. Now, there was a really stupid, well, I consider it to be stupid, turnover. That I don't even know what that play call was. I don't know why they're throwing it behind the line of scrimmage to Jake Brenningstool. But anyway, he couldn't hold on to the football. He fumbled and lost the ball. So that was the only turnover for Clemson, which is heading in the right direction, I think. And like I said, more importantly than anything, Cade Klubnik protected the ball. Now, I will say this. He could have very, very easily thrown 2 interceptions yesterday. There are a couple of interceptions that were just dropped by the defense. So he kind of got out of there unscathed, but not by his own doing. He needs to be a little bit more cognizant of his ball placement. He's one of these quarterbacks, and the good comes with the bad with this. He's one of those quarterbacks that has the feeling that he can make every throw even when they're covered. What that leads to is sometimes you'll see some great passes into coverage that are caught by the receiver, and you say, oh my God, how did he fit that in that window, blah, blah, blah. The bad part about it is it leads to interceptions. He's a gunslinger. He thinks he can make every throw. That's great. He can make every throw. That's great. But eventually it's going to come back to bite you at some point. But anyway, he got out of there with 0 interceptions. Obviously, the missed field goal there, he was, I think, 1 of 2 on the day on field goals. He had 1 field goal, but he was 4 for 4 in the extra points. And Robert Gunn, 4 kickoffs and 4 touchbacks. So that's what he's good at. And I guess if you need to bring him in there to kick a 70-yard field goal at some point, he's good for that. Overall, special teams played well, except for the missed field goal, right? But we've almost become accustomed to that this season. You're going to have at least 1 missed field goal every single game. You can count on it, write it down, tattoo it on your forehead if you have to. If you do tattoo it on your forehead, make sure you tattoo it backwards so that when you look in the mirror, it reads correctly. Defensively, this was the story of the game, right? They did give up a couple of big plays. That's why I said I felt like the game should have ended up being 31-7 instead of 31-14. But hey, for the most part, they dominated the game. 7 sacks. That's right, I said it. 7 sacks. There's a bunch of teams in the Power 5 right now that don't have 7 sacks on the season, let alone in the game. Look, the defensive front absolutely manhandled and pushed around Syracuse's offensive line. That's really all there is to it. The depth on defensive line and the front 7 in general for Clemson is ridiculous, right? And that's a part too. I mean, they have a bunch of seniors, but these true freshmen, especially Parker and Peter Woods, but Parker in particular is an absolute monster. So the future right now defensively, because I was a little bit worried, we're losing a bunch of veteran guys at the end of the season. You know, a lot of the guys decided to come back from last year as graduate students or seniors or whatever that could have gone to the NFL, came back this year. So I was a little bit worried that we were going to have some youth and inexperience on the defensive line starting next season, but that doesn't seem to be the case. A lot of these young guys look really good right out of the gate. So we've got to, and again, our defensively too, Khalil Barnes looks really good. That's another true freshman. Tyler Brown, another true freshman. So the future right now is looking bright as far as what next season should look like. And we got some great recruiting class, it appears, coming in next year too. So I'm excited about the state of the program. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. Will it ever be perfect? No, it'll never be perfect. All right, but it is what it is. I don't even want to get into the transfer portal discussion. Look, we have all off season. We can talk until the friggin' cows come home about the transfer portal. All right, but this isn't the time to do it right now. During the season, doesn't matter. You can't get a transfer right now, so stop talking about it. Well, you can talk about it if you want to. I'm not going to because there's no point in doing it. But overall, excited about the remainder of the season. I really am. Got Wake Forest coming up. That should be an easy W. Of course, well, shit, I take that back. I don't really know if there is such thing as an easy W right now. The ACC is a weird conference. Duke fell to Notre Dame last night. Well, we got to see that Duke is actually a pretty good team. For everyone that was trolling Clemson for their loss to Duke, yeah, they shouldn't have lost the way they lost, but it turns out Duke is not a bad football team. Notre Dame had to pull a miracle out of its you-know-what to win that game at the end of the game, and Notre Dame's a pretty darn good team if you ask me. I know a lot of you say Notre Dame's overrated, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, everybody's overrated, nobody's any good. I get it. That's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. But the ACC is a weird conference. It's very competitive. Clemson has everything ahead of them. Are they most likely going to make the ACC championship? Probably not. That loss by Duke last night still keeps them tied for first place in the ACC. That was not technically a conference loss, so they're still in the driver's seat in the ACC. You still got Florida State still undefeated, Louisville still undefeated, Miami's still undefeated. So the ACC is wide open. I have a feeling we're going to see some chaos come towards the end of the season because a lot of these teams have to play each other, right? Miami and Florida State have to play each other. Clemson has to play both Miami and North Carolina, and they've already played Florida State. So, yeah, there you go. Overall, I'm pleased with what I saw yesterday. I think most Clemson fans are. It's probably the most complete game. I would like to see at least one game, though. I would like to see at least one game without a single turnover offensively. We took the step forward with Caleb Williams. Cade Klubnik not turning the ball over yesterday, even though he could have. But Brenningstool did turn the ball over. So I'm going to give Clemson on offensively, I'm going to give them a 7 out of 10. I would have given them an 8 out of 10 if they hadn't turned the football over. But anyway, I'll give the defense a 9 out of 10. They forced multiple turnovers, 7 sacks. The only reason I'm not giving them a 10 out of 10 yesterday is because they gave up some big plays there at the end of the game to allow Syracuse to score a touchdown when they probably shouldn't have. But I'll take it. We're obviously still missing Nate Wiggins. I think the secondary did a pretty good job in his absence. Hopefully he can get back sooner than later. We're going to need him down the stretch, especially when we roll in to Miami and when North Carolina comes to town, and certainly in November when Notre Dame rolls into town. So there you guys have it. Let me know down in the comment section. At this point in the season, I know you can't take back losses, right? So those are what they are. But at this point in the season, notwithstanding 2 losses, how are you feeling for the remainder of the season? Where's your head at? Are you happy with the progress? Are you thinking, yeah, look, Syracuse was overrated, whatever you think, I'd like to know down in the comments section. Whether you're a Clemson fan or not, doesn't really matter. Just let your boy know. That's it for today. State of the Fan. Everybody have a great Sunday. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Your boy checking out.